Ohtani is off the board. Yamamoto is off the board. It's time to make some blockbuster trades happen. Word was Chris Getz was waiting for Yamamoto. So that's done. Let's move Cease. Dodgers, you have Ohtani, you have Yamamoto, you're building a super team. Randy Arozarena is clutch in the postseason. Let's get it done. Teams that need to pivot from Yamamoto, go get Corbin Burnes. Maybe Framber Valdez is available. There is a financial situation in Houston and the New York Mets after missing out on Yamamoto. Do they look in the mirror and reflect on the Alonso situation? We are going to trade all 5 of these players. Reckless blockbusters going down in this one, everybody. Comment below. Let me know what you want your trade to be for one or any of these players that we're about to dig into. A little notice: if between recording and posting one of those 5 players is traded, I will be clipping that out. So you see the rundown. You see the order we're going to be going in. Cease, Alonso, Valdez, Burnes, and Arozarena. If, let's say, Burnes is dealt in the next 10 minutes before I can upload this thing, we'll clip that part out and we'll focus on the other 4 players. So we're going to get into this thing. I want you to comment below. We have a 100 comment goal. So let's get to that number by you giving me and the rest of the community your thoughts on the trades that we're about to talk about and what your trade would be. Premiere like goal is 100. So those watching the premiere, make sure to smash that like if you enjoy your time here. That'll help us get to or close to the overall like goal. It'll give us our best shot anyway. Let's get into this thing. Let's start it up and let's put Dylan Cease on the board. It just feels like he's the next big domino to fall when it comes to the trade market. Chris Getz said he was waiting for Yamamoto to come off the board to see what's the landscape look like. I think the 3 teams that might be pushing for Cease at this point, the Yankees after missing out on Yamamoto, the Braves, who we've believed are there all along, and the Orioles, the other team that Bob Nightingale believed to be were the favorites to land Dylan Cease, the Orioles and the Braves. I believe it will ultimately be the Atlanta Braves. So let's build the trade. Braves get Dylan Cease. The White Sox are going to get Bryce Elder, Vaughn Grissom, and Dylan Dodd. Braves, you are able to hold on to A.J. Smith-Shawver. That is a great job in this trade. But how does it look from a White Sox perspective? How does it look like from a grading perspective? We're going to run all of these trades through the baseball trade values machine to stay honest, to not create any lopsided trades. And anywhere, I'll throw this in there because I know there are a lot of you that don't want to give baseball trade values any credence here. I too believe that there are instances where the values do not work out right. So we are sidestepping those instances. We're going where I truly believe the value's pretty legit. So here we go. We've got Braves, White Sox. We have a $40 million value for Dylan Cease. And in the package going to the White Sox, Dodd, Elder, and Grissom, a $41 million value. So we have a fair and accepted trade. Dylan Cease, Atlanta Braves. Let's keep going. Let's get to Pete Alonso next. These are the 3 that I believe, if we get to Pete Alonso is available, these are the 3 that feel like the teams that'll push most aggressively for him. Milwaukee needs a bat. The Cubs could use a first baseman. Matt Mervis, maybe he's the guy, but if you could add Pete Alonso, this is an aggressive Cubs team. I think they're going to do it. And the Toronto Blue Jays need to make a splash. They need to do something that seems impossible. Trading for Pete Alonso would be that thing. So of these 3, give me the Blue Jays. What's the trade going to look like? Pete Alonso to the Toronto Blue Jays. And no, I am not going to be sending Alek Manoah back to the Mets. That's not going to happen. I mean, listen, we're living in an unrealistic world possibly here right now, as it is possibly actually. So let's at least try to bring some realism into the unrealistic nature. What's the package headed to the New York Mets? We're going to send Brandon Barriera, the number 4 prospect, Chad Cheese Dallas, the number 13 prospect, and Cade Doughty, the number 15 prospect. We're going to send 2 pitching prospects to the New York Mets and a bat. This is actually a pretty fair deal. If you're the Mets and you get this call and Pete Alonso is probably not in your future plans, look, here's the situation. If you're not going to extend Pete Alonso and you can get an offer like this from a team, you take it and then you go try to re-sign Pete Alonso in the offseason, and you've got 2 pitching prospects and another bat prospect. What's the trade look like in baseball? Trade values. Now, this is an area where I believe Pete Alonso is undervalued. So I took some players that I believe are also undervalued on the Blue Jays side of things. Pete Alonso with an $11 million value. Brandon Barriera, Cade Doughty, Chad Dallas, all together give us a $10.5 million value. So we have another fair trade. Nothing but fair trades in this one, everybody. So Pete Alonso, Blue Jays, sign it up. Let's move on to Framber Valdez. The Astros are in a money situation. The Astros are in a spot where they may have to make a move that they don't want to make. And if they do, Framber could be one of those pieces. Teams that I think could be in for him would be the Giants, Cubs, and the Braves. Now, we've already placed Dylan Cease on the Braves, so we're going to keep these trades operating in the same universe. So we're going to remove the Braves from a trade scenario. But hey, look, if something crazy happens with Cease, I can see the Braves right here. Give me the Cubs. I think the Cubs have the prospects, the pieces that they can send to Houston, and they have the aggressiveness burning inside of them to get a deal done. So, Framber Valdez to the Chicago Cubs. Who's going back to Houston? Christopher Morel. Now, it's interesting here because Christopher Morel had been floated out in trade rumors, pulled back in trade rumors, but to get this deal done, you have to have Christopher Morel in it. Jordan Wicks, who's ready to slide into the Houston Astros rotation right away, and Ben Brown, pitching prospect that could impact 2024, maybe be a player years down the road. How does it look when we pull up baseball trade values? Again, we know where we're headed here. Look at how close this one is. We have Morel, Wicks, and Brown with a $49.9 million value, and Valdez with a $49.4 million value. That is right there. Certainly a fair trade. Let's get it done. Valdez, Cubs. Morel, Wicks, Brown, Astros. Perfect trade. Perfect trade. Burnes. Corbin Burnes. It's a hot topic right now because Dodgers still being aggressive, could go for Corbin Burnes. But not going to go Dodgers here. I'm going to say the Boston Red Sox. Of the 3 teams, Boston needs to pivot. They need to be aggressive. They need to go strong for Corbin Burnes. And they could get more than just Corbin Burnes. This could be a Corbin Burnes and a Willy Adames, because the Red Sox are at a point where, look, hey, man, the Yankees are doing what they're doing. They may get aggressive for Corbin Burnes. They may get aggressive for Dylan Cease. Boston needs to step it up here. So we're going to go Corbin Burnes, yeah. We're also going to go Willy Adames. We're going to get the 2 of them. Burnes and Adames go to Boston in this trade scenario. Who's going to Milwaukee? 4 players. And a YouTube channel. Tanner Houck, Nick York, Blaze Jordan, Wilier Abreu, and Robbie Hyde's YouTube channel. All headed to the Milwaukee Brewers. Sorry, Robbie. To get this deal done. You're sending Houck, who slides into that rotation on day 1. York, Jordan. Abreu was called up last year and was very good for Boston. You send those 3 pieces plus Houck for 2 guys that, if you're Milwaukee, are probably walking away at the end of the year. Talked about things that are good and bad for baseball. I mean, look, here we are. The Milwaukee Brewers trading Burnes, trading Adames. Whether they do it or not, It's all rumored. It's out there. Why? Because the Brewers are in a spot where that owner is not going to pay them. So trade them, restock the farm system with York, Jordan, bring in young players like Houck and Abreu, take Robbie Hyde's YouTube channel. Things are good. Just Robbie Hyde's YouTube channel alone, you're going to be rolling in it. What does it look like with baseball trade values? $44.9 million value going to Boston with Burnes and Adames. $45.4 million going to the Brewers for Houck, York, Jordan, and Abreu. You know what we got? Every single time. It is a fair trade. Boston, you got to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive. Go out there and give them top prospects. Go out there and give them guys, the Brewers, players that are going to help them right now, because if you don't, the Dodgers will swoop in and steal them. You got to move quick. You got to be aggressive if you're Boston. I still think the Dodgers have a very good chance that they go get him. Let's move on to Randy Arozarena. And again, like I said, all of these trades are living in the same universe, so they all impact the other one, right? We don't have a Dodgers trade for Corbin Burnes. We think Seattle. We think Atlanta make great fits. Atlanta left field. Seattle, they have holes everywhere right now. The Dodgers, the whole goal is to 162 doesn't matter. It's October. Randy Arozarena is clutch in October. So why not have Randy go to the Dodgers? This is one of the reasons why I don't have the Dodgers landing Corbin Burnes. I don't have a Dodgers trade for Burnes, because I think let's revisit the Tampa Bay race and get Randy Arozarena. Look, going out and getting Corbin Burnes, it's redundant at this point. Okay? That pitching rotation, as it is right now, Kershaw's going to be back in the summer. It's a super rotation. Bringing in Willy Adames, it's a waste of time. Let Gavin Lux play shortstop. If Gavin Lux is bad at shortstop and can't hit in 2024, then make a trade midseason. Trade for Willy Adames if he's still available at the trade deadline. I don't think you need to do it now. What you need to do now is take that prospect package that you would maybe be considering sending to Milwaukee, take some of those pieces and send it to Tampa, and get Randy Arozarena and 3 years of control for Randy. So, Randy Arozarena to the Dodgers, headed to the Tampa Bay Rays. It's a solid package. Michael Busch, the number 2 prospect in the Dodgers organization. And to be the number 2 prospect in the Dodgers organization says something, because that organization is stacked. The Dodgers traded for Trey Sweeney a couple of weeks ago. Sweeney was, what was he, top 5 with the Yankees, and he was outside of the top 10 with the Dodgers. Ryan River, the number 8 prospect. Landon Knack, the number 9 prospect. River and Knack are never going to see that rotation the way things are currently shaping up. In 2025, that Dodgers rotation is going to be Ohtani, Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, Bobby Miller, Emmett Sheehan, Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin. River and Knack are never going to pitch. Turn them into Randy Arozarena. I think it's what you need to do. Let's run it through baseball trade values and see how we did here. We have a $33 million value for Randy Arozarena, $31.9 for Busch, Ryan, and Knack. So, as always, every single trade today is a fair trade. Accepted, done, stamp it, and let's move on. What are your trades for the players that we just talked about? Of any of the five that maybe are still standing? Again, maybe somebody got clipped because the deal went down from between recording and posting. But give me your trade if your team was included or maybe wasn't included, but you think it should be and you could offer something better. Comment below your trade. Comment below your thoughts on the trades that we put together. And out of these 5, who do you think is truly, honestly getting traded? At this point, you can't convince me that any of them won't. You can explain to me and talk to me, and I will believe you if you tell me that Alonso's going nowhere and Valdez is going nowhere. Those two seem the most unlikely, but at this point, nothing would surprise me. Comment below, everybody. Give me your thoughts. Those watching the premiere, make sure to hit that like. Want to boost past the 100 premiere like goal. Will help us on our journey to the overall like goal. That is going to do it for this one, everybody. I do appreciate you coming in. Ballcat Nation, I salute you. Thank you for coming in and watching the video. As always, if it's low, let it go. And if it's high, let it fly.